We're about halfway through the college football regular season, so it's time for an updated Power Conference tier list. We'll put teams into one of 6 tiers here, starting with Pack It Up. It's over. That's going to include all of these teams, some of which have already fired their head coach. It's a lost season. Oregon State, Oklahoma State. Other teams, they're just straight up bad, like Boston College is terrible. North Carolina looks awful under Bill Belichick. For most of these teams, they'll reside in this tier for the rest of the year. There's a few that maybe could rise up. Maybe Purdue has a nice resurgence. They've shown some positive signs. Even Wake Forest and West Virginia, those are a couple of teams that maybe have a little bit of hope. Moving up a tier, we've got below mid, sadly, teams that just aren't quite getting it done. A couple disappointing teams in here like Kansas State and Virginia Tech that we had pretty high hopes for, and some other teams that are maybe a little bit better than expected on the positive side, like Arizona, I think, is having a solid year. UCF looks okay this season, but for the most part, most of these teams will probably miss bowl games. A few of them could still sneak in. Up next is the Frisky but Flawed tier, which is a really fun group of teams that are mostly fun to watch. Teams like Baylor, Kansas, getting in shootouts every week. Duke's been really fun to watch recently. And then there's some other teams on the other side of this that were top tier contenders that have really disappointed, but they're still frisky. They're not terrible like Florida State, Clemson, Penn State, Florida. They're not just completely awful. They're still pretty competitive, but very flawed in a disappointing way. And then there's a team like UCLA, which would have been in the Pack It Up tier just a couple of weeks ago, but a late mid-season resurgence has them suddenly up a couple of tiers, looking like a solid team. Another step up, we've got the damn good football teams, and just exactly as the tier describes, teams that I think are damn good. They might have some flaws, but they're not as egregious as some of the teams in the tier below. Vanderbilt's been really pleasant to watch this year. Missouri's been really solid, the way their portal additions have gelled. Iowa State has sputtered a little bit recently, but it's still a damn good team. Nebraska typically operates in like these 2 tiers, but it's been a big resurgence for them this season. I think all of these teams, they're damn good football teams. But taking things up a notch, we've got the playoff contenders tier. Yes, there's some teams in here that could contend for the playoffs as well, but these guys are just a little bit more solidly defined as playoff contenders. You've got a nice cluster of SEC teams that have gotten off to a nice start of the season. Obviously, a couple of those guys won't make the playoffs just due to the numbers. Georgia Tech still undefeated, got to be in that playoff conversation. Same with USC after a nice win over Michigan. Obviously, they clashed with Notre Dame this week, but the Irish have been playing great. Cincinnati, I think, deserves a shout out here. I think they've been playing awesome too and have a really good resume. Utah as well. And then for the top tier, we have the national title contenders. Most of the teams in this tier were as expected, except for Indiana, who just got a signature win against Oregon. They have to be in that conversation. And Texas Tech has looked virtually unstoppable. You have to talk about those 2 teams. Miami, another one that was maybe on the fringe, but you feel a lot more confident about now. Bama, after week 1, maybe not, but what they've done recently, it's undeniable. So there it is, my complete updated tier list. Let me know down in the comments what you think of my tier list.